Okay. Instagram always got some new stuff that they're talking about. I really don't. Oh, jeez Louise, you gotta go through so much just to get everything good to go. All right. People ask me to get on my nerves. Sorry. Hello, everyone. I hope y'all are doing well. I know it's been a while since I've actually popped on here and done the Fresh Face Friday video, but nevertheless, we're here, and I hope you all are good. I hope you all are enjoying your Friday. I was just trying to make sure we are set up all the way. So, of course, welcome to the vets and the newbies. As I always say, that we are all transformers at the end of the day. You all are doing some type of work in this season, whether you're doing it with me, whether you're doing it on your own, whatever the case might be. All right. You already know I am Coach V. I am the New Love Strategist. I'm a certified life dating and relationship coach with New Thing Life Coaching. I'm also an online dating consultant. All right. I'm all about helping single and frustrated ladies when it comes to renewing their hearts. And I also prepare them with, as I always call them, the intentional dating skills that are necessary for them to win at Kingdom Love. I do all of these things via, coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. Some of you are my VIB clients. I have my 12-week intensive New Heart Academy. I also have a monthly membership program. You can learn more about all of these things, products and services at newthinglifecoaching.com. While you're there, subscribe to stay in the know because I hear there are some amazing things coming up, especially some live events. And one of those might even be in a city near you. So you want to make sure that you do not miss that. All right. Very quickly, let me just go over any new news. As far as 2022, y'all know it's all about the We Will Win movement, right? I'm saying like amazing major things are happening in 2022. Y'all already know that number 22, why it's special. Again, not as far as numerology, none of that nonsense, but just as far as it being a number that God specifically gave to me when it came down to helping single Christian women. And of course, with this being 2022, I already knew back in 2021 that some amazing things were going to take place and actually happen in this year. And they are already happening. They are already taking place for myself and for many of you. So the We Will Win movement is all about you being a part of either the N2L community, the month-to-month membership, or being a part of New Heart Academy. So let me go ahead and put it out there. Of course, currently N2L, again, the New Love Language community, the May course is going to be Teach Me to Submit. We are going to be looking at having a submissive spirit. That course is all about submitting to God. A lot of you right now, I know you might be either weak in your faith, you might be a little stuck, stagnant, whatever. That course is going to get you to a better place in your relationship with God. It's also going to talk about having a submissive spirit while dating. And it's also going to be preparing you for submission when it comes to marriage. Submission is something that is huge when it comes to single women. And it's something that a lot of us struggle with to say that we are believers, but yet we see that word in it. We're not talking about, what men aren't doing. Like we are told to submit, period. God did not say submit as long as this man does not. It just says women, you are to submit, right? So we go deep in that course for the month of May. It is going to be self-paced. You get a nice little customized We Will Win ring, the whole nine. You can learn about that. And then coming up, the New Heart Academy summer semester. That is going to kick off July 20th. That is the 12-week intensive. Enrollment is open, okay? I always say that New Heart Academy is that one-stop win at love shop. It is literally every single thing you need in one academy. If any of my students are watching right now, please drop a comment to let the others know that you've been a part of New Heart Academy and you know what it was all about. You know that yes, it was intense, but it takes you through that process of healing your heart, renewing your mind after trauma, discovering your purpose. Talks about womanhood, communication, advanced dating skills, understanding men, attracting the man that fits your vision, writing the vision. We go through all of those things again. July 20th, enrollment is currently $350 off, no matter which payment option that you choose. And there are 3 different payment plans available, okay? So wanted to put that out. You see that on the website as well. I hope you caught the new motivation podcast that I did on Tuesday. It was epic. Make sure you catch the replay if you did not already. Y'all already know I help women win at love, but I wanted you to, I wanted to like motivate you and kind of challenge you in that podcast to evaluate who's winning in your life right now. Because at the end of the day, in all things, there can only be one winner, right? I mean, somebody's winning, someone's losing. So who's winning for you right now? Go listen to that podcast. and allow it to challenge you, all right? But it's Fresh Face Friday. And that means it is time for a training video. That means it is time for me to just kind of enlighten and train and just kind of share some things with you all during this time. And I want to talk about meeting a good man, really meeting good men, right? Like we can say that because we're single, we're able to do whatever it is that we want to do at the end of the day. But I hear a lot of women always talking about like the struggles that they're facing and dealing with right now when it comes to meeting a good man, how there are no good men. It's like, where's he at? And no good men, and the men today this, and dating today this, like all of these different things that I hear and see from a lot of you, things that a lot of you have said in my inbox, in emails, in coaching sessions, well, at least in the beginning, because I'll gather you very quick. Like we're not going to allow that mentality and that attitude to continue. Why? Because I always say at the end of the day, you got to be mindful of those TWA seeds, thoughts, words, and actions. So a lot of the things that you are saying out loud about men and about, good men, bad men, men today, those are seeds, whether you are thinking it, whether you are speaking it, whether your actions show that you really do not believe that good men exist. Those are all seeds, and you will reap whatever it is you sow at the end of the day. So if you're thinking that there are no good men, then guess what? That's in your heart. So yeah, you shouldn't expect to meet a good man, because even if you were to meet one, you're still going to question if he's really good. You're going to be waiting for the ball to drop. You're going to be thinking that something is going to happen because you've already told yourself good men don't exist. You're only going to encounter men that are not good, because at the end of the day, you've already prophesied over yourself that there are no good men. So you have to be mindful, because at the end of the day, you cannot get what you do not believe actually exists. Either you believe good men exist or you don't. And then some of you are like, well, I do believe, I just have not yet met one. Well, that's something different. That means that, yeah, you truly do want to know, where are the good ones at? And we can absolutely chat about that for a couple of minutes, not long, because I got to go pick my friend up from the airport. Um, as you are out and about, as you are moseying on about life, living your best life, I know that you want to meet someone. I know that you want to meet a good man. I know that you're hearing everybody else talk about, their stories, and, and sharing their pictures and talking about the good man that they have. You might not be frustrated, though I know that some of you are, because you're wanting Mr. Right, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want to meet a good man. I know a lot of you have been dating. You've been dating, you've been swiping, you've been encountering, you've been responding to some men simply because your phone is dry and you're bored and you have nothing else to do. I know what that is like. I have lived that life. I've lived it. All right. Even up until semi recently, and I'm going to talk about that here shortly. I know what it's like when you're annoyed, because it's like, look, like I'm not saying I'm desperate for a man, but man, I really want to meet a good man. I want to be able to go on dates and spend time and be in a relationship, and and talk about the future and all those things. You want a good man, and I want to help you meet him. All right. When I do one-on-one coaching, I do advise ladies where to meet a good man at, and I do that, of course, more so based on their personality. Like there are certain things that you might be cool with that you might not be cool with. There are certain things that I'm okay with that you're not okay with. There are certain things, in places that I might visit and be okay with visiting, but you might not be, or you might not. We all are different at the end of the day. So I do a lot of things based on me knowing my client's individual needs. All right. But a lot of times it's as simple as like striking up or responding to a casual conversation while you're at the grocery store, while you're at like a gas station. Some of those things can work in your favor. Even letting a family member or a friend know, like, yeah, like I am open to meeting someone, like, and it's just like, you never know, like what kind of luck you can even have as far as that. I just had a new client reach out to me this week because they're wanting to actually allow me to run their online dating profile. Very few people know that I do that. And I love it. That service, yeah, it is a little bit more pricey, because for those who hate online dating, like I literally pretend to be them. Like we go through the whole, like, where do you stand? What do you want? What do you need? All of those different things pertaining to the woman. And then I know what kind of man would actually work for them. And then I literally create the dating profile and I talk to these men, but I'm able to like, breeze and do things very quickly and easy, where I'm just like, hey, like I'm making sure like men who are not going to be wasting my client's time, and I can let them know, hey girl, like I already know your schedule. So Friday you have a date at such and such. Like he's an amazing man. I'll give the full cheat sheet and everything, but I'm not even going to go through all that. I have someone else who's finally allowing me to set them up on a blind date. And I'm super excited about that. Like you never know what might happen when you actually let people know, like, yeah, I am ready to date. I am willing to meet someone. I do want to see what can happen. Will a lot of these things, work out? No. Will some of them? Yes. It is always going to be hit or miss at the end of the day. But you have to be open, because at the end of the day, dating is about being open. Dating is about having fun. And some of you are a little too serious. Some of you are like so hell bent on meeting a husband and making it happen like right now that you are sabotaging things before it even begins. Dating apps. I talk about that all the time. Yes, as an online dating consultant, like I am all for dating apps. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it is still the number one way over the past almost decade now that people have met their partners or their spouse, from either dating apps or online, because social media is included in that as well. There are singles groups at church, there are mixers, there are events, there are dating coaches. There are, I mean, you can go out alone. Like, when's the last time that you just got dolled up and, just went to a place where good men are sitting at the bar? Like, that is a top way as well. If you're going to go out, like, even if you don't drink, just go sit at the bar and see who's going to come strike up conversation. Or you can strike up conversation, right? Sporting events, corporate events, networking events. What it all boils down to is you have to think about who you are and the kind of man that you actually see yourself being with. And then you have to say, okay, well, that man is single right now. Where would he be? If you know that you don't want your man out in the club and stuff, then you should not be going to a club looking for a man. What kind of men are you interested in? And where would that man be while single? That is what you need to be thinking about. But I can go deep. I can give you a long list. There's even a chart on my site about where to meet men at. But at the end of the day, what I will tell you is this. First things first, you have to believe they exist. I cannot stress that enough. So many of you are just like, oh, I'm tired of dating, and I'm sick of inconsistent men. I'm sick of the liars and the cheaters and the ones who don't have money and the ones who are looking for a woman to do this. If you do not even truly believe in your heart, if you do not confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that good men exist, that is already your first strike. That is already where you are going to have a problem. You have to know that you know that you know that, yes, there's an amazing man out there. There's an amazing man out there who is going to be everything I need. Yes, he might get on my nerves sometimes. I have an amazing man, but does he get on my nerves sometimes? Yes. Do I get on his nerves sometimes? All the time. We've both actually been trying to figure out like who has more gray hair now that this relationship has started. But I mean, it's all love, like seriously. But I mean, no one's going to be perfect, but you have to say, hey, I know there's a good man. Nobody is going to be perfect. We all have something about this. Like I talked about this even last night in my small group, where it's like, when you think about Paul in the Bible, like he had that thorn. We all have a thorn. All of us has something, right? And it's going to be the same way with these men, but a lot of you are seeking perfection, but it's saying that, hey, first and foremost, I know that good men exist. And that's going to be that. And then secondly, it's all about what? You have to be a good woman. You can't get something good if you're not good, right? Like I am all about the whole become the woman that the man you're looking for, becoming the woman actually that the man that you're praying for is looking for. Because if you have this long list of what it is that you want and desire in a man, then you have to really ask yourself, okay, I want a man who's good in this area and his personality, this, and his character, this, the way he is with children, the way he is with money, the way he is with his dreams and goals and da 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 da. A man who's structured in this area, or a man who, when it comes to his prayer life and casting out demons or church attendance or serving his community, all of those things. It's getting real and thinking about his lifestyle and his personality, and then saying, okay, a man who checks all of those boxes, a man who fits that, would he want me? Would he want me with where I am right now with all I have going on? And I know that that might sound a little harsh sometimes, but I had to get real. Everything that I was wanting in a man, and yeah, a lot of the things that I did ultimately deserve and I was desiring, I did not deserve those at that time in my life because of what I was putting off, because of where I was at when it came to my finances, when it came to my emotional stability, when it came to my mental health, when it came to my social circle, when it came to, just how I handled many different things, when I had to get real about my selfishness, my personality, the way that I am and was with a lot of things, the way I even was with my time. I was like, okay, you want this kind of man, but look at where you are. That man ain't gonna want you. That kind of man is not going to want you. That is a little unfair, like, to be completely honest. And then what happens is that a lot of when you're in that boat, instead of saying, you know what, let me take the time to work on becoming a good woman. Let me take the time to work on becoming the woman that the man that I'm praying for is actually going to be checking for. Instead, what do? You end up dating down. You end up settling. Like, well, at least this is someone who's at least, I have his attention, or at least this is what, and we'll end up dating down or settling instead of saying, hey, let me do the work. Because it's so much easier to settle and complain, but it's so much easier to settle than actually doing the work. Like I've noticed that with a lot of people. And again, that was me at one point as well. So you have to believe they exist. And then you also have to be a good thing in order to get a good thing. When is the last time that you evaluated where you are right now when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your emotional stability, when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your social circle, when it comes to the way that you even are with your temple? Because I know we're all about stocks and credit and finances and our prayer life and making sure that we know how to cut people off. We're all about mental health and self-care, but a lot of us, we just absolutely fail to take care of our bodies. And I already say, like, all the time, Black women especially, we are notorious for this. The doctor tells us something, prescribes us something, we take it instead of saying, what type of lifestyle adjustments can I actually make to get healthier? But then it's like we'll see a man who might be like crazy overweight or something, and it's like, no, he don't even take care of his body. He's unhealthy. Really? But then we'll like accept medications like for high blood pressure and diabetes and all of these other different things instead of trying to. But I'm not going to go there because that's another message. Where are they? Where are these good men? That is what you tuned in for. I'm going to give that to you so I can get off of here. Where are the good men at? They are literally everywhere. Good men are literally everywhere. Listen, I can go down the list. I can tell you certain sites. I can tell you about the bomb dating profile that you can create. I can tell you about, again, the sports club and the sports events and eating alone at the bar. I can tell you to check the singles group at your church. I can tell you a lot. I gave you, and even that's not even all inclusive. Where I met my man at might not be where you meet yours. Where some of my clients have met their boyfriends, fiancés, and husbands at, it was not where I met mine, and it might not be where you meet yours either, okay? But what I will say, let me just say this. If you have never met a good man, if you consider and say, I've never met a good man, I've never met a great man, I've never encountered a man worth marrying, I've never met someone that I would actually be content having that man around my children, or I've never met a man where I would actually be okay with him raising my children or my future children. I've never met a man where I would be okay with actually taking this man around my family. If you can say that you've never met that kind of man, that says more about you than it does about the quality of men that exist. I was in that boat, okay? I was definitely at a point where I was not meeting anybody worth anything. And it's not because good men didn't exist, but it was also because of my mindset and where I was at. It was because of who I was at that time in my life. It's about where, and this is not to say, oh, it's your fault. Like, I'm not trying to, point fingers and say like in that way. But if you're saying you have never met a good man, come on now. Like, they're out there. They are out there. What are you doing in this season to meet one? To meet more than one? What are you doing in this season to say, like, hey, like, I'm ready to meet a good man? Are you praying and waiting? That's not good, because that means religion just kind of has you bound where it's like, oh, just pray and sit back and I'm just going to sit here. I've been praying for 10 years now. I've been abstinent for 15 years. And I know the good Lord is going to bless me with the man. Really? Now, if God told you to sit tight, then sit tight. I'm not going above God. If that's what God told you, to sit tight and don't. You can hop off this live right now. Hop off. But what are you doing? Are you dealing with place fillers? I just had to get on one of my friends about that the other day. She's like, I want to find a good man. I want to get married. I was like, really? Because you got a lot of people that you're dealing with right now. So why do you have these place fillers? A lot of you are holding on to temporary men until something better comes along. But it's like, who do we think we are? Because a lot of times God is like, no, until you clean that up, I'm not sending anyone. Because you want me to stand a good man in the midst of your mess? Like, you're not even ready. You're holding on to all these people. And God a lot of times can see, like, no, that man is not going to let you go as easy as you think he's going to. But you want me to stand a good man in the midst where you're going to be lying to him and trying to get rid of this one and going back and forth. A lot of you need to get rid of the place fillers at the end of the day. Are you going out, or are you going to the wrong places? Are you going to clubs and bars knowing that that's not even like the lifestyle that you really care about? And then you're going to be 5 years from now, what, in a relationship or a marriage with a man who is occasionally going to clubs and bars? And now you're upset because no, you're married, you should be home now, but that's where you met him at? What are you doing in this season? Are you using the wrong tactics? Are you trying to manifest a good man? Are you writing down what it is you want and then praying on it and sticking under your pillow? Are you using sex? Are you saying, well, hey, well, I know that me and this man will never be together, but in the meantime, I know he's involved with somebody else, but I'm going to hold on to him until something better comes along? What tactics are you using? Listen, Galatians is very clear when it says that God cannot be mocked, that we will reap whatever we sow. Guess what? This includes your love life. Like, you can't do certain things, but then expect to be blessed with certain things. You can't say, oh, I'm going to do this, but this is what I deserve. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this. No, we're not playing that game. It's 2022. It's the second quarter of 2022. And for some of you, for the past 3 New Years now, you've been saying, this is going to be the year that I meet my husband. This is going to be the year that I meet a good man, and it hasn't happened yet. What are you going to do differently to meet a good man? Because again, I have a lot of good, first of all, I have a lot of good men that I'm even friends with on Facebook. I have men that hop in my inbox asking about a lot of you. I have men who are serious when it comes to saying, hey, I will pay you to help me meet a good woman. I have been on dating profiles for, again, professional reasons. I've been running profiles for a lot of my clients. I scope out a lot of the dating profiles just so I know like which ones I can actually recommend. And I always have it on there like, hey, I'm a dating coach. I'm here for professional reasons. Don't talk to me. But I'm also that person. I'll hop in a man's inbox and be like, your picture's stuck. Hey, rotate that, crop that out, upload some new pictures. Hey, change your bio. Let's proofread this. You could get a woman this way. And from that, I've had men who have literally, how much do you charge? Yes, I will pay you that $400 a month if you will help me meet a good woman. There are some amazing men out there who want to meet a good woman. But a lot of those women, there are some, again, who believe that they don't exist. Or some women who are like, nope, I'm not compromising on this. I disagree with this. Men today, this. I need a man who's already this. And blip, 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 blip. Want whatever you want. That's cool. But just don't keep on asking where the good men at if you're not moving and doing certain things a certain way. I can give testimonies for days. All of my clients had the same mindset as you. You know, believing that good men just don't exist or they're all taken or whatever. They all had the same mindset. And again, I say that like you're tuned in watching, so I can say this to you, like, right? Because you're wanting to know where the good men are at. A lot of my clients were in the same boat. They all felt the same way. It was like, where are the good men at? There ain't none. Coach V, I'm tired of trying. It's like trying to find a unicorn. Like, there are no good men. You don't really believe that. You don't really believe that there are no good men. Because a lot of you, it's like, you say that, but you don't really believe that. And what happens is that over time, a lot of my clients, they would realize that they were simply picking the wrong men, or because their thoughts, words, and actions, because of the seeds that they were planting, they were reaping a harvest of some crappy men. And they were realizing, okay, there were some things that they were contributing that was ultimately delaying and denying what it was that they were wanting to experience. The way that we are wired says a lot about us. Like, the way that we are wired is what oftentimes leads to who we end up selecting. Y'all know I talk about trauma a lot. Like, there's a course in New Heart Academy that is just on trauma because it's about rewiring your brain after trauma, because otherwise you literally will find yourself repeating the same decisions, finding yourself in the same toxic patterns, the same toxic cycles, the same traps, all because of your attachment system that gets activated when you end up meeting an emotionally unavailable man or a man who is playing games. A lot of people like literally feed off of drama. And that trauma will have you do, listen, whew, I can go on and on about a lot of the same patterns that I was in. I can go on and on about a lot of the same type of men that I dated repeatedly. So a lot of you don't even realize like it's some things that you have not, like, you legit have to rewire your brain after any type of untreated trauma. Otherwise, that will affect the kind of men that you attract and the kind of men that you entertain, date, connect with, and then pray over, hoping that they're going to change. And then doing the whole, I mean, well, God, if I'm a rehabilitation center, just say that. No, you attracted that. But now you're mad at God because these are the kind of men that you're attracting. No, that's you. That's not God. We blame everything on God. Healing. This is why healing is so important. A woman that has low self-esteem that stems from their mother, because a lot of times it's our moms that are supposed to validate us and make us feel a certain way. A lot of the women who have low self-esteem, I'm not even going to say 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times it comes from their mother and the relationship that they had with their mother. And if you have low self-esteem and you have not dealt with that yet, guess what? You're going to end up choosing men who are emotionally, mentally, or physically abusive. You're going to deal with men who are unavailable in some type of way, whether unavailable as an emotionally unavailable, physically unavailable, such as maybe they're incarcerated, unavailable as in they can't give you what it is you want because they are somebody else's man or husband. That low self-esteem is something serious. A woman with untreated wounds from their father is going to do what? They will continuously date men who are just like their father. I told you, my daddy was here in Charleston, but he was not in the house. He didn't call and check on me all the time. He didn't really call and check on me at all. He was there for birthdays. And of course, for me, my birthday is on Christmas Day. So he showed up for, Christmas, and I got stuff. If I ever called him and needed something, he said, oh, yeah, baby, I got you. Yep, I'll bring you the money. Yep, I'll buy you the shoes. Yep. So I got whatever I needed, but I had to call him. I took that into all of my relationships. It was my job to reach out to a man. It was my job to tell them what I needed. And as long as they gave it to me, that meant they loved me because that is what my daddy showed me. A woman with abandonment issues will make all the wrong choices. They either connect too fast or they have fear of commitment. They hold on to relationships that don't really benefit them. They have sex just to try to keep a man. They play games. They have abandonment anxiety, like all of these things that you have to heal from. But healing, the thing is that when you heal yourself for real, it literally changes the men that you attract. And then it's like, oh my gosh, instead of me asking where are the good men, now I'm just like, dang, which good man do I want to pick from? Which good man am I going out with tonight? When you heal for real, it changes you because your aura is different. The way that you talk is different. The way that you walk is different. And a man who is truly a good man, he is going to notice that. Listen, you'll have them lined up and in rotation. And yes, as a Christian coach, as a coach that works with Christian women, I don't see anything wrong with that because I didn't say go out and have sex with them all. I didn't say lie to any of them. I didn't say hop in bed. I didn't say take that. I didn't say any of those things. But at the end of the day, once you're just like, hey, I'm a good woman and I don't have to settle down and commit to anyone who has not added some and made some serious deposits into my Win at Love account. I am all about checking a man's VCL, their value contributing level. How is this man adding value to my life? And you know what? Tommy might be doing a very good job of it this week, and Malcolm might come and do a better job of it the next week. And before you know it, Timothy might be trying to get your number at the gas station. And if you want to date all 3 of them, because you are not committed to any of them and is saying, hey, I'm just trying to see which one of these men, they're all great men. I'm trying to see which one is going to be the best for me because I am single, and may the best man win. It's really just as simple as that. I don't care what anyone says. You can write me off and you can end this now if you disagree. I am a dating coach. And like I said, I know that some women work best with the all eggs approach, where it's like they need to only date one man at a time, and that's fine. But then for other women, especially my clients that have an anxious attachment style, I always tell them, no, you need to date like a couple of men at a time, because otherwise you're going to automatically become clingy with this man. You're going to think he's your boyfriend, forgetting y'all ain't even in a relationship, and it's going to be a whole hot mess. Where are the good men at? They're all over. But what I would implore you to do first and foremost is to write the vision. Y'all, like my workshop that most of you have already done, right? And if you have not already, it is half off this weekend. Do you have a vision? Do you have a vision? Like, what is your definition of a good man? Because you can't sit there and say, where are the good men at? Do you even know what a good man is? It's hard to say no good ones are out there if you don't even know what a good man is, and if you don't even know the kind of good that you need. Because especially if you're someone who is not really like healed and gone through some things yet, then you really don't, until you heal and become the best version of yourself, you don't even know the kind of man that you need. That was me. Because my idea of what good was then, that is not what I see as being good now. And back then, I didn't even know what I needed. I was only going based off of what I wanted, and that was coming from broken, superficial places. Do you know the kind of man that you need? You got to write the vision. Who are you? What's your purpose in life? What does God put you here to do? What is your calling? What are your spiritual gifts that, yeah, are going to help, edify and build up the church, but are also good for your relationships, that are also going to help your marriage? What are your strengths? What are you good at? What are your weaknesses? Because those things, you need a man who can accept your strengths and a man who can balance out your weaknesses. What are your views on gender roles? Where do you stand on cooking and cleaning and laundry and whatever else? How do you feel about finances? What are you feeling as far as what a man should be doing when it comes to financially providing? How do you want to see things go in your household? I know that right now everything is all about, okay, well, this person makes this much, and this person makes, who should be paying the bills? Screw all of that. What do you believe about how things should be operating inside of a marriage? Do you believe it should be 50-50? Okay, cool. That's a part of your vision. Date men who feel the same way. Do you believe the man should be paying all the bills? Cool. Then make sure that you are making that clear up front, because finances are still the number one cause of divorce. You need to make sure that you are dating men who feel the same way. Do you feel the man should do majority? Cool. Make sure that that is something that is on your vision, and that you are letting men know that up front, because you need to date men who feel the same way. How do you feel about religion? How do you feel about raising children? Where do you stand when it comes to sexual compatibility? Yes, even in my Becoming course, I talk about determining sexual compatibility without even having sex, and how to determine sexual compatibility before even getting married. There are ways, because there are some people who wait till they get married, and they did all of that. I was abstinent and praise the Lord, and then it was like the sex was horrible, or there were disagreements as far as, I'm sorry, not trying to be whatever, but there were disagreements as far as positions, frequency, lingerie, just different types of sex and whatever else. Those are things that you need to talk about beforehand. And there are ways to do that. You need to know all of those things. What is your love language? How do you want love shown to you? And how do you prefer to show love? All of these things matter, and all of these things are a part of your vision. And guess what, sis? You have to have one. You have to have a vision. So don't be out here telling, oh, well, no good men exist. But then if someone was to even ask you, what do you look for in a man? And then we get so offended when people are like, well, what makes you a good woman? What do you bring to the table? Why do we get so defensive when people ask that question? You can go out of your way to list what a good man is and what you want from a man, but then talking about no good men, but a lot of you are out here just winging it, giving chances until someone gives you butterflies and prayerfully sticks around. Dating down. Do you even know what you need? Do you know what you need? Do you have a vision? Like, do you see it? And I don't mean the little list that I want a man who's did it. No. Do you have a vision that shows this is what the Bible says, first of all? This is who I am. This is the kind of man that will fit where I am. I need him. Okay, so this is me. I need someone who can accept this. I'm not good in this area, so I need a man who can be good in this area. Okay, well, this is like my gift. This is something that I know that the Holy Spirit has given to me. So I need a man who can accept that. And yeah, so someone who would probably also benefit from. And then some of you, like your spiritual gift, like the very things that God has actually given you. And then it's like you will meet a man who needs what God has given you. And it's like, I don't got time with that. No, I'm not doing that. He should have himself together. Write the vision. All right. The workshop is 50% off at bit.ly/NTLC classes. Okay. If you use code all lowercase FFF April 22, FFF April 22, you get half off from now until Sunday. But where to meet a good man, you have to be a good woman. That means being healed, whole, complete. That means having that HISA, right? That high intensity self-awareness. knowing every single thing about you. You have to know like every single thing about yourself in order for you to present yourself to a man that you want to accept you wholeheartedly. Being a good woman is knowing what you want, knowing what you need, knowing what you deserve. It's knowing who's going to fit the vision. And then from there, it's emerging confidently saying, hey, I've done the work. Now I can get out in these streets and I can date confidently. And now I already know like the kind of man that I want. You then have to believe good men exist, but you also have to know what yours looks like. Because a good man for her might not be a good man for you. What I consider good, that might not be the kind of man that you think is good. Again, we are all different. And some of you, you're going based on social media, celebrities, what other people are posting. Well, a real man this and a good man this. No, you have to know what good looks like for you. And then you got to get out there, sis. Get out there. Outside. I'm going to be outside this summer. I ain't even going to lie to you. And I'm not even an outdoor person. I think now I'm just at a different place and stage in my life. I'm ready to go outside. I'm going outside. I'm going to be outside all summer. And when I tell y'all, like, I'm going to be in a city near you soon, yep, because I got 3 different speaking engagements coming up. I'm going to be traveling. I already said a very small group of women in the tribe. We're about to rent out an Airbnb for a couple of nights. And we're just going to gather and do some group coaching and laser coaching and whatever else. I mean, friends on social media. Like, I'm going to be like going all, like, I'm outside this summer, okay? I've been working with Coach Sean. I've been getting my body right. I've been exercising and everything. My boyfriend, I love him. He's country down, okay? I ended up with like a little redneck / country dude and whatever else. And I'm like, yeah, I'm excited about, I'm not going to kill the animals, but yeah, we can go hunting, but I'm not going to, I just want to shoot the gun, but I'm not going to kill the animals. But all these things, this dude was talking about going horseback. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to be outside and I'm excited about it. I need y'all to get out there. Great men are on dating sites, okay? Like I said, majority of my clients, they met their man, whether it's their boyfriend, fiance, or husband, on a dating app. I think I told y'all my testimony, did I? I don't know. I was, and I know I posted this in the Sash Tribe on Instagram. If you're not in the Sash Tribe, sorry, you're missing out. But I was with an amazing man. Amazing. He was a good man. And here's what I do know. He would be good for one of y'all, but no, he was not good for me. And I have no problem saying that. I can't really complain about this, man. I just knew that he did not fit my vision. Now, I'll be honest and admit, like, yeah, there was a part of me, I was already kind of like planning the wedding, the kind of house that we wanted. We were talking about all of these things. And I'm just moseying along one day, minding my business, grocery shopping. And I heard that familiar voice, and God was asking me, but does he fit the vision? The vision that you always have your clients write and go through. I did a whole 4-hour workshop. Right? The vision is like 4 hours. God was like, you took them through the vision. Did you do it? And it hurt when I realized this man does not fit the vision. And I was realizing, no, he was not ready to move at the pace that I was ready to move at. And I was about to fall into some of the same traps of making excuses. You know, he's been hurt before, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I need to work on being patient, and da-da-da-da-da. But something just kept saying, give it up. You know, that meme that has the little girl holding the tiny little teddy bear? And she's like, but God, I love it. But God has the huge teddy bear behind his back. And I was like, I got to let it go. And I told him, I was like, look, I got to let you go. I can't. I'm ready to start that. Like, I'm ready to settle down. Like, I know you and I, we got whatever going on, but I'm ready to, you know, get serious. I'm getting older, and I'm ready to move on. I said, we're always going to be good. We're always going to be friends. We've always had that special connection. And it's funny because for those of you who are who took that DWI, Discerning While Interested Bible study that I did a couple of years ago, I would just say that he's actually one of the men that I mentioned inside of that. And I think I even talked about him in the Truth About Sex and Purity Bible study as well. So see if you can figure out which man I'm talking about. But he was amazing, and I had to let him go. And it was kind of hard. Kind of. But I knew that I was making the right move, and I was like, I know that I serve a God who was going to restore and replace and replenish and whatever else. I let him go, and that is how I ended up meeting who I'm with right now. I didn't think it could get any better than the last guy. but I let him go. And now it's funny because I literally had a dream one night of a certain number. And it was funny because 22 was even in that number. I had a dream about a certain number, and I remember texting my sister, and I was like, girl, I think this number is about to come. Go play it. I should tell you all the secret. I was like, girl, go play this number. Because that number it came to me just as clear as day. And then it was like after the fact that I realized that that date ended up being me and this guy's first date. And this was a number that God had previously shown me before. And we both knew. It's like first date, we both just knew like this is the start of something. And I was just like, wow. I was so determined to hold on to somebody else. And I finally let you go. And now this man is like everything that the other man was incapable. And this man is exactly what I need. This man fits the vision. I've never even seen my kids as comfortable and confident before in something ever. And and here we are. I let it go. And guess what? On a dating site. And I wouldn't even tell you which one, because I know there's one dating site that probably has like the worst reputation of all. But I always do my dating site recommendations, again, based on my individual clients and their personality. So there are some, I have patience with certain things. And there are certain dating sites that I would just always kind of like, whatever. Like it'd be social media to me. Like I'm in bed scrolling, Like I'm just like, I'm bored. And lo and behold, and we both were just like, this site is trash. Why are you on here? Like, and very quickly we met, got off, he was intentional and whatever. That is my testimony. I am all for. Good men are on dating sites. They're on social media. They're at events, but a lot of you won't get out the house because you're still scared to go outside. Check your friend zone. A lot of you just got good ones sitting in the friend zone, but it's like, now I'm going to put him here because I'm waiting on something better. They're everywhere, but what are you doing to meet them? That is the question. What are you doing to meet them? Besides praying, it's like I'm praying for a good man, but I'm complaining about the kind of men that I keep encountering. That's backwards. Can I just go ahead and put that out there? Because Deuteronomy 22:9 talks about planting two different seeds in the same vineyard and how one seed is going to be defiled because of the other seed that you are planting. Check the seeds that you're planting and know that good men exist. That's all I got to say. Okay? I love y'all. I got to go pick up my favorite white boy from the airport. My neighbor is back home, so I'm responsible for getting him from the airport. Y'all connect, newthinglifecoaching.com. The site will lead you to the podcast, Instagram, Twitter, the private Facebook group. Just in closing, believe that good men exist because they do. Become a good woman and get what you want. I help women win at love and know that I am absolutely here for you at the end of the day. Again, enrollment is open for New Heart Academy. You have time to pay for it. Like I said, there are 3 different payment options, so you can secure your place even with it being $350 off, no matter which option you choose. There are no excuses, and I am not going to be offering New Heart Academy again at all this year. So July 20th, 12 weeks, weekly live classes that are intense, but they are absolutely going to snatch your edges, but they are going to help gather you and just get you to a place that you didn't even know was possible. And it's really going to make the world of difference. All right. I promise you. Y'all know that my inbox is always open. Holla at me if you need to. It's 2022. I don't even think anyone says holla anymore, but I've been pumped this whole week coming back from vacation and from fasting and everything. So I just been feeling good. I've just been all excited and just feeling a little godly and holy and just pumped and all over the place. So that's that. But I love y'all, all right? Y'all take care and know that I'm here for you by any means necessary. Ooh, it's ringing my doorbell. I'll talk to y'all later.